Alright, hello. This is alertwolf here. Uh, Gonna bring you another review. This one is of Tron, I believe episode 11, and this one's called Grounded. Alright, it's been a while since I've gotten to do a Tron review. I know I said this in the last video, but I know I was supposed to put this out earlier. I got delayed. I wanted to first, I didn't know that they came back, and then they came back on Mondays, and I believe the new episodes used to be Fridays, so it was a shock to me that the new episode was Monday, first off. And then, not only was the new episode Monday, but I didn't see it until Tuesday. But luckily I have these things taped on a DVR. And then I was going to release it Tuesday during the day, or not during the day. I was going to do this thing Tuesday, but then I ended up having to work late, and then I was going to put this out last night late, as I'm going to do tonight. But then people ended up stopping by and hanging out till all hours of the night, so I didn't have time. And today I had work, and then I went to see Lincoln, which is the next movie review I'm doing after this. And that movie's long. And then I hung out at my girlfriend's house, and so yeah, I ended up being delayed. But that's all right. I'm gonna put these videos out as soon one by one. So it may take a few hours in between. It just takes a while for me to upload these. If I had a faster computer, that would be better. But basically, this episode's a very interesting episode. I like it, and I guess it was worth the wait. Basically, for a couple of things that happen in this episode, really make it, I think, a really good episode. But I'm gonna break into what goes down. So, the opening is this people are running because of the curfew that's in force. The guards are tracking down this one chick who just happened to be walking around. Beck, the renegade. Personally, I like being called the renegade better than Tron, even though I like, I like the Tron thing, but I like the fact that he's called the renegade. It's badass. But anyway, so Beck saves her. He fights some guards. The guards have a staff, and when you strike it, makes the ground fall. And like in hexagon, or maybe, I don't know if they were hexagons, but they were some octagonal shape that caused them to fall of some sort, or some type of multi-sided shape. But whatever. Either, it doesn't matter. But either way, it was pretty cool to watch. Next, we get the fact that they're, a guard tells Tesler, all right, I'm probably shorting that. So General Tesler, that Tron lives, and they think it was Tron, and so he kills him. And then Tesla issues an ultimatum saying he's going to send these programs that he rounded up to the games who violated curfew, and he only set the curfew because of Tron, or because of the renegade, and he's going to set them free if he gives himself up. And, and they ask him, well, how do you think he's going to go through with it? He has to. And then the next scene, Beck says to Tron that he has to. Meanwhile, Powell is, not Pavel. Powell is, or Pavel is, upgrading General Tesler's arms, and basically, the three of them start talking about what they're gonna do. I thought she doesn't believe it's Tron. Didn't you say Tron's dead? And he's like, and Pavel's like, listen, man, even if it is or it isn't, these upgrades are gonna give him the edge he needs to win, and that's what it's about. So, Tron and Beck had talked, and Beck thinks he's gonna have somebody cover for him because he has work. And that's the whole thing. He has work a lot. So he bumps into Abel, drops a whole bunch of stuff, and Abel really comes down on him. But, Abel kind of drops a few hints in this episode, like talking about the death of the friend who died in the first episode, and he lays it on to him about responsibility and his lack of responsibility, and he gets so mad at him. He's like, "You're grounded." Hence the name of the episode. You have to stay here, work your shift, work a double shift, go help your buddy. You are grounded. You're working, and it's pretty funny. Abel's a very good guy and an interesting character, to say the least. So he has to go help Zed. He's helping Zed out. And Zed and him get to talking, and Zed tells him the truth. Because he's like, I'm a prisoner here. He's basically acting like a brat, acting like a kid who's been punished. And he's like, what's wrong with you? You're a mechanic. This is your job. He's like, I'm surprised seeing how late and how little you actually work, that you haven't been fired yet. I just don't get it. And then the conversation shifts slightly. They start talking about the Renegade's gonna lose and all this, and Mira comes through, and because then we all understand that Zed likes Mira and Mira likes Zed, but she also likes the Renegade, and Zed hates the Renegade, and I think Zed doesn't realize, if he hasn't shot off his mouth so much, maybe Beck might have let him in, but every time Beck considers it, he just puts his foot in his mouth, which I think it's funny. Not that he's ever considered it out loud. It's just, in thought process in his head. So now there's going to be this big thing, and Beck is about to break out and leave and go. Abel catches him again. Beck tries to lie to Abel. Abel's like, dude, stop lying to me. I know what you think you're going to do is important, but it's not. Stay here, do this. We were all bummed out by what's-his-face's death again. Or actually, this is when he says his death, not in the beginning. And he's like, everybody goes to see if Tron's going to show up, or the Renegade's going to show up. And so what happens is he's ordered to stay behind, along with another character who's actually for Tron and whatnot. And he's like, Beck's like, I gotta go. He's like, I don't blame you, but I'm not gonna lie for you. He's like, you shouldn't have to. He goes, all right, but and then he bounces. He goes off to save the day, and he fights Tesler. Tesla releases the hostages, and they fight, and Tesla beating his ass. The stick gets used. They're a level under, and Tesla is literally just beating his ass. He's like, Beck is not winning this fight because of the power up that Tesla had earlier. Tesla had earlier. So it's getting to the point where he's holding him by his head, and he's gonna delete him, and he's crushing him. You start to see he's starting to pixelate. He's starting to crack, and then somebody drives by in a speeder and slices Tesler's hand off. Then what happens is, they declare it a victory for General Tesla, even though it's not. Beck escapes, goes back to the HQ, and proceeds to thank Tron for saving his ass. And Tron's like, what are you talking about, man? I've been here the whole time monitoring. I didn't go out there. He's like, then who saved me? Then we go back to the garage. Beck is avoiding Abel because he figures he's going to get yelled at. And then basically he's talking to Zed, and he's like, Zed's like, wait, so you're hiding from Abel in his own garage? He's like, yeah, I know. And so basically, so Abel calls him into his office, they talk about it, and he's like, Abel starts laying it into him, and he's like, listen, he finally says it, so he's like, I just have one question. How long have you been the renegade? And he's like, so you knew? He's like, how did you know? He's like, I've known for a while, which is true. If you watch the season, Abel's no fool, and you almost seem like he's starting to put things together, and so apparently he did. And he's like, there's some things we need to discuss, and he's like, yes, there are. And then what's his face apologizes for how he's been acting, and that's how the episode ends. And wow, what an episode! I mean, the episode itself was like a 3, but because of the revelation at the end of this episode, I'm gonna give it a 4. The fact that Abel knows and has been trying to help Beck the entire time and has been trying to protect him. I mean, you get the sense that he's like a father figure. If Tron's the mentor, Abel's the father, who worries. And that's how Abel is. And he's a good guy. But there's more, obviously, there's more to Abel than meets the eye. I cannot wait to see any developments. I think the next episode is it's going to be called We Both Know How This Ends. So that's supposed to be out next week, I think on the 10th. So by the 10th or 11th, hopefully I'll be able to bring you another review, and it'll be good. So again, I think just a lot of interesting things happened. Tesler's starting to take this a little more seriously, and he's losing, and he publicly lost to with help. Lost to Tron. We're finally starting to see people on Tron's side, or Beck's side. And the one thing that's bugged me about the show for a while now is it's felt more like Batman and Batman Beyond passing the mantle than it has been about a revolution and building a revolution. I mean, technically, he should be building a network of people to help fight Clue and Tesler. But he hasn't been doing that. He's been saving people like Batman and building up like a cult following, so to speak. So it's interesting to see that now with Abel, we may start to see the birth of a real revolutionary force, and I cannot wait to see where that goes. But again, so I'm gonna rate this a 4 just because of the revelation there. And I really have been enjoying this series. One of the best American animations on television today. And currently I'd say the best one airing new episodes, because, Transformers had their season finale, and the DC Nation block hasn't aired any new episodes and won't until January. So currently the best American animated show on the air with new episodes. There we go. I could say that with definity. But this is alertwolf here telling you to click it up if you like it. Comment if you must, subscribe if you can, and this is me signing out.